Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today it's all about our chickens. We're gonna head back there. A lot of you ask about the same thing, and that's our chickens. So we're gonna share with you our chickens. We are gonna have to thin them out a little bit. It's funny how it all worked out, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. We're gonna head back there. Plus I've got some more things to do back there. I've got to paint up the windows. We've got some little bit of chores to do. I need to clean that out. So we'll just hook up the other camera and we're kind of just take you along for our little bit of chores to do over there. So that being said, let's head back there. I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see what the chicken coop looks like here in mid-October. Kind of fun. I like how the sun sets a little bit lower right now and everything just feels a little bit nice. It's a little bit breezy, so hopefully it's not coming through the camera too much, but when we get back there, I have a little microphone, so it should turn out pretty good. So let's head back there and see the whole thing, and we'll kind of just introduce our chickens to you folks. Let's get started. So when I told you it was kind of unique how our chickens came about, so we ordered those online, and then when the chickens arrived, or were supposed to arrive, they got pushed back a month. And about the time that I stopped doing videos to go to work, or put in more hours at work, that's when our chickens arrived. So we put some stuff on Instagram. They're right back there if you're new to the channel. That's our little chicken hobbit coop type deal. We'll head back there. So anyway, we got these chickens delivered. There was 5 of them. A few of them arrived that were not the kind we ordered. We ordered all the same kind. That did not happen. And so there was a mix up in the order. So then we got a hold of the company. Then they resent 5 more. So then we ended up with 10. Well, on arrival day, 3 of them did not make it as when we opened the packaging. So those 3 that didn't make it. And then the next 2, one only survived 1 more day. And then we ended up keeping 1. So now we have 6 because the first batch made it 100% through. Then we only ended up with 1 survivor of the next batch. So then we had 6. Well then, because we didn't get what we were supposed to, they reached out, asked us about the delivery, and we explained it to them that the delivery did not work out, did not make it. And then they sent 5 more. So they sent us 5 more, but again, it was a little bit of a mix-up. It's okay. The family, or that family-owned business, whatever, has really been good. Well, anyway, so they send out 5 more. So then we end up just going, you know what? The universe wanted us to have a mixed group. So now we have a mess of chickens. For our permit only allows us 5. I think we have 10. So we need to weed out some. And then that one right there is the only rooster in the bunch. We cannot have roosters. So we have to figure out what we're keeping and send them off. This was just a temporary, this little water feeder. That has a cord to it, so it's gonna be good for this winter. It'll keep the water from freezing. The little feeder, because there was about, I think 3 weeks difference, and you can kind of see in the sizes of these little girls. Some are more older than the others, so we had to keep something smaller for them to eat out of, so that the smaller ones could still reach in. So now we are getting to the point where I can go ahead and change this up. So what I'm gonna end up doing is right here on the side, underneath this little canopy here, we're going, and all the food and wood chips are in there. Right here on the side, we're gonna put PVC pipes. I'm sure some of you have seen that, especially if you're into chickens. But there's some PVC pipes. You feed from the top, comes down, it has a little elbow to the bottom, and they can just go in there and eat. So we'll put some minerals in one, some treats, and then also too, we'll have their basic feed. So it's fun to see them kind of scratch around. I can just sit back here, and my wife has them eating out of her hand almost. We did a really good job when they were in the house of playing with them. We kept them in one of the bedrooms until we ended up with too many, and then the odor started to kind of happen when they started to get a little bit older. So then what we did was move them to the garage. Well, then once we moved them out here, we haven't got the time to play with them as much, especially now that I'm spending a lot more time at work. Anyway, and my favorite one, kind of get over here, is this little critter right here. Oh, I love him. I think my wife named him, I can't remember the name. Anyway, she named him something. So that one will be staying with us. The black and white ones, they put off a lot of eggs during the season. So we'll be doing that. That way we can gift them to a lot of our neighbors and whatnot. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I need to paint these two windows. And right here I've got the paint. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of share with you guys. And then I need to clean out the coop. They're doing a really good job of roosting. So on the other side of this hardware wire, that is the hobbit door. So we open that up for good ventilation when need be. But we have to have the wiring on there because that's not a secure door. I don't have a lock on it, so I don't want no predators to come through, or the other way. Their nesting boxes have been covered up, but I took one out just to see if they get in there and cut. So I had that board over there. If you're curious what that means is, I guess reading up on this, if you allow them to roost in their nesting boxes, they won't turn those into nesting boxes. So it's time to clean this out. This is in 1 week. They are little critters who go to potty quite a bit. So we've got this. A lot of people are under the impression that you're supposed to have a round bar or pole so that their feet wrap around. But learning and watching a lot of videos, that is a no-no for a lot of reasons. But one of them is during the winter, they're not able to cover up their toes, the end of their claws, and so they can get frostbite. So we have 2x4, and we're going to add another 2x4 up here because they are now able to get up here, and I didn't realize it. So some of them are just on that little bit of 4-inch gap right there roosting. So we're going to clean that out today, get some new wood chips. You can hear them all chirping in the background. I need to take some more of those bricks and kind of lay them out here. I do have underneath, if you're asking, there is more wiring under the ground. Hardware cloth, that's what I was thinking. So it goes all the way around both sides. When we put this whole thing together, of course, I shared that with you guys, but in case you're asking, that is what we'll do. Of course, the top has a ton. I still need to finish up the painting. Has a ton of leaves and stuff, gives them good shade. Right behind me, so what we're facing is the east. So the morning sun, they kind of stay over here and get their morning sun. Then when the sun's full day, the sun stays right in this area. And then this will be where the sun shines in the evening time. So these leaves, and I have a wisteria on here. I know wisteria's poisonous, is the way I understand it, to chickens once it seeds and drops its seeds. So we'll be coming in here and cleaning it up some more. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to remove it completely, the stump. They've ate everything down in here. It was fun because I had a ton of leaves. I've been filling a bunch of leaves in here. You can see I scattered some sand in there and they scratch around. And in fact, they're eating some more leaves. I brought some in here. And then I have a piece of wire right here with a little bolt on the end. And so we'll hang a thing of cabbage or lettuce right in this area, and they come and doesn't touch the ground, and they just kind of come over and peck on it. So that's their treats. But it's a beautiful little setup for us. We should start to see eggs. We did the math. We'll start to see eggs next spring. So they have a full winter in here. We'll be covering up these windows so that we can keep the cool weather out. Of course, I'll be putting some cloth over, some plastic or something over that door come colder months. But yeah, all in all, it's working out pretty well. They're doing good and they're thriving. So if you guys want, you guys come along. We'll put some paint on these, and then we'll just kind of see where I guess the rest of the day. Oh, we're gonna clean that out. So I don't know how much fun that video will be, but if you guys love the chickens and you love to kind of just watch our channel, let's get started. I guess watching paint dry made them tired. Okay, so it's turning out pretty well. We'll wait till this kind of dries up, and then I'll come back where the caulking is around it, and we'll touch it up with a touch of red and get it going. You saw the birds. If you skip through that part, they were all nesting in the back area. Probably got tired of watching the paint dry is what I said. But right now they're over here sunbathing. I don't want to interrupt them too much. I think they're fun. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clean this dirty, filthy thing out. Some people use sand. Some people use wood chips. I'd say I definitely had to read up on it, but I would have used cedar chips. But then I found out cedar chips are actually really bad for your chicken. So that being said, we use a pine shaving. So we'll do that, and then we'll get this kind of cleaned up and call it a video. good to kind of just get it all done with, kind of get it caught up. We've got the 2 windows cleaned up. I could go back through. You might be able to see it in the thing, maybe just right there and a little bit right there. But I'll paint those black. But before the hard wire back where the cloth, I'll paint it. And then I put this log in here, and they took to it right away. Of course, you've seen them eating out of my hand. They're very friendly. This is our rooster right here, and we're not allowed to have roosters. So, as beautiful as it is, I have to rehome it. And in fact, I'm gonna have to rehome a few of these, and I hate to even pick out what I want to keep and what I don't. But basically, I'm gonna keep the egg layers, which are those black and white ones right there. And then this little guy back here with this funny little haircut, we're keeping him just for some character. Pardon me. We'll keep her for some character. But yep, they've gotten very friendly. Of course, you could see them eating out of our hands. They're back here thinking that they're gonna get something to eat. No, just shiny stuff. Oh, made me jerk back. But just shiny stuff, buddy. Just a shiny ring. So anyways, that's the coop. We'll keep cleaning it up, but we're gonna have to thin this out here before too long. If you see this little wire here, we'll put some lettuce on there. I'll see if I can throw that in the video towards the end, and you can see how we anchor that down. But aren't they fun? We talked about this forever and then got busy at work, and so I wasn't able to share it with you, but I did put some of the videos as they came in the house right out of the delivery. So we got them delivered to the post office. The post office gave us a call, and then of course they contacted us, and we went and picked them up. And so when we brought them home, it was just a tiny little box. But hey, our dog, she's in the video, in the Instagram video, and she's just sitting there because she can hear them chirping. And she just thought it was really, really fun. You see them. Just put some feed in there. So we have 2 holes that I drilled in here, and chickens are super curious. So there's going to be 2 boards, poles that'll stick out of there, and then they just kind of fly up on. But that is the gist of it, guys. If you're wondering what that post right there and this post are, those were to the gazebo. So to give you some reference, remember our gazebo many moons ago sat right here, and so where the coop's at is where the gazebo was. And the gazebo was here before all the trees were, so we could come back here and get in the yard and kind of get away from the sun during the hot summer months. So as all gardens, everything changes. But anyway, well friends, I hope you enjoyed our little view of our girls. A lot of you have been asking about, look how pretty they are. Oh, I'm gonna come in here and check it out. They're they're not shy, that's for certain. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you folks on the flip side. Bye-bye now. What do we got? What do we got?